Hi everyone, welcome to another session of Human Manual. Today we're going to talk about meditation. We all want to be happy. Ultimate goal in life is to be happy. We all do the things we do because ultimately we all want to be happy. For optimal happiness, there are three things that are basically required. We all look to be healthy, wealthy, and peace of mind. And how do you get the peace of mind? Is through meditation. Between those three components, I would say meditation and the peace of mind is the most important component. You could probably do okay without money. You could probably do okay, you don't have to be a superman health-wise. But peace of mind is what will give you that happiness that we all looking to. And unfortunately, we are all focused on the wrong things. We are focusing on our money, we are focusing on the material things in this world. Those are not what's going to give you the happiness. It is the meditation, it is the calmness, it is your peace of mind. Now meditation, in one phrase, is the gap between two thoughts. Our mind is constantly bombarded with thoughts. It's before you complete one thought, there's always another one popping up. An average person gets over 50,000 thoughts every day. So between that bombardment of thoughts, the gap between the two thoughts is what is meditation. A lot of people are confused. They feel prayers is meditation. They feel doing yoga is meditation. Well, prayers do bring you peace of mind. Yoga does bring you peace of mind. But meditation is really the gap between the thoughts. The only way you can get peace of mind is try to build a gap between those thoughts. It is the silence between the thoughts which gives you the calmness, which gives you the peace. It is that particular space in which you're connecting with our overall universe. We are part of the entire universe. There are universal forces which we connect when we meditate. Meditate, and the universe will reflect back to you. Meditation is a language which the universe understands. Meditation is a language through which you can communicate with the other forces of the universe. During meditation, you're in sync with the divine world. You're in sync with nature. If you want to spend time with God, hang on to the space in between those thoughts. During prayers, you're talking to God. And during meditation, you're listening to God. During meditation, God is communicating with you. All the natural forces around the universe are communicating with you during meditation. That's why you feel such a peace. That's why you feel the calmness. That calmness is where you're able to assimilate the information that you get in the world. You're able to filter that information better. But if you're constantly thinking, if your mind has constantly running, your thoughts keep coming again and again and again, that's where you really cannot make proper decisions. In order to be able to solve some of the issues of your life, you really need to understand each issue calmly, and the calmness comes through meditation. So the space in between the thoughts is meditation. Complete focus, complete concentration in whatever you do is also meditation to some extent. Meditation does not really have to be mantras, it doesn't have to be chanting, it does not have to be going to the temples and ringing those bells. No, meditation is the calmness. So we have to learn to calm our mind. Life is a mystery of beauty, bliss, and divinity. Meditation is an art to unfolding of life's mystery. Meditation is painful in the beginning, but it bestows eternal bliss and supreme joy in the end. All wrongdoings happen because of the mind. If a man is transformed, then you're fine. We are a product of our thoughts. Our thoughts drive you to who you are. When I meditate, I'm not a husband, I'm not a lover, I'm not a businessman, I'm not a stranger, I am not connected with the world. I am in my own different space. I have just bestowed to the supernatural space and just taking a dip into that natural humanity and natural universal space. Just taking that little dip and trying to feel and sync with the outer space of the world. So during meditation, you let go of all your thoughts. You let go of everything and you just communicate, and you're just in constant touch with God. So that's what meditation does to you. The more you do it, the more you realize, the more peace of mind it gives you. See, we all do things that bring us pleasure. We all stay away from our pain. We always try to stay away anything which is painful in life. So meditation over a period of time, as you practice, the more you do it, the more you realize what a calmness it brings us. You'll immediately see the effects of it. People really cannot change others unless you yourself imagine and understand that this is going to bring you happiness, this is going to bring you benefits. That's the only way people change. The more you meditate, the more you feel peace, the more you want to get there. And over a period of time, the gap between your two thoughts will widen. How do you meditate? How do you get to that space? It's easy to say, yes, now we understand what meditating is. Now let's understand, how do you meditate? I think the best way to do is to find a very peaceful, calm place around what brings you calmness. All of us may be different. I normally just go into my prayer room. I close the door behind me. As soon as I wake up in the morning, that's the time when I do it. Then again, some of you might not want to do it in the morning. Some of you might do it in the evening. Whatever suits us. Whatever makes us happy, we have to find our own space. So I normally, when I wake up in the morning, I go sit near God. People generally pray. People do pray. The prayers is very important. But in between, as you're praying, you could be meditating and praying. I do my prayers at the same time as my meditation. So what we need to learn and understand is we need to do 2 sessions of 20 minutes of meditation. One preferably in the morning and one preferably in the evening or afternoon. Basically space out those 2 spaces between the days, just so that, what happens is when you do it, your first session in the morning, during the day, then you go back to your worldly routines and you tend to go back, you tend to forget about the space. So just as a reminder, if you break up those 2 different meditation sessions to morning and the evening, so that's the best way to do it. The reason I said 20 minutes is because when you start to meditate, half of the time, or probably 90% if you're a beginner, the thoughts will keep popping up. So all you have to do is, when a thought comes in, you just have to pull yourself back to meditation. You just have to try to pull yourself back to that space, that gap. And the best way to feel that gap is just watch your breath. See, breath is a connection. Breath is like a wire. It's like an invisible wire that's connecting us to the outside universe. So concentrating on our breath, just watching our breath, is what connects you to the outside. Just focusing and just paying attention to how you breathe, seeing your body move, seeing your diaphragm become bigger. You don't really have to breathe heavy, by the way. You don't have to breathe heavy. You just a normal breath. As you take a breath, just watch your breath. First, you can take a couple of deep breaths. What I normally do is I start off by chanting the word Om 3 times. Om, Om, Om. So by doing that Om word thrice, it's sort of disconnecting and telling my mind, well, now we're in a different space. We are in the meditation space. And then after you chant, then you just keep watching your breath. You just keep observing your breath. You will keep getting those thoughts. You'll get one thought, then again, you pull yourself back, come back to your breath. Come back to your breath. So after a few breaths, again, you'll have another thought that'll pop in. Come back to the breath. Come back to the breath. You keep on doing that, and that's how you develop the space in between. Meditation is nothing but complete focus. So here what you're doing is you're completely focusing on the breath. Our mind is only capable of assimilating one thing. Our mind cannot focus on several things together. If it's focusing on one thing, if you try to bring in another thing, you let go of the first thing that you're focusing on. So basically meditation is just complete focus, and the best way to focus and the easiest way to focus is focus on your breath. Take those heavy breaths. Take those deep breaths. Feel the breath. Feel the air going in and out. Feel it going through your nostrils. Feel it going through your throat. Feel it going through your lungs. Feel your lungs expanding. Feel your lungs. Feel it pumping out air. Feel your lungs doing its job. Don't have to have no thoughts. You do not have to judge anything. You just have to observe. You just have to observe. The minute you get into a judgment is where the thoughts occur. The minute you observe, that is meditation. So observation of your breath is what is meditation. I have recently started doing meditation over the last 3 years, and I have noticed it has transformed me a lot. I have noticed it's very healthy. Meditation helps you heal your body. You know, God has His own supernatural ways of healing. The soul always knows how to heal itself. The challenge is the mind, those continuous thoughts in your mind. How to silence your mind is the key. The soul will repair itself. The soul will cure itself. It is the silencing of your mind which comes through meditation. If you want to get rid of the anxiety of your life, meditate, and the anxiety will disappear. Meditation is the best cure for your anxiety. Meditation is a spiritual practice that helps you transform your mind from the negatives to the positives. Self-observation is the first step of knowing your inner self, your own mind. When you meditate, automatically you start to see the world in a better light. You start to see people in a better light. You would notice through meditation the hatred or the ill will or the ill feeling that you have towards people starts to diminish. You will start to appreciate we are all part of this planet. We all have an equal right over the planet. We all are part of this existence. God has put us all together, and we all have equal share of whatever we have. There's absolutely no reason for us to be jealous of others. There's no reason for us to have hatred towards others. When you start to listen to God, that's when you start to appreciate, and that's when you start to love. We all can read each other. We all, without silence is a language by itself. Silence is a communication by itself. People who have hatreds, people who have ill will, negativity, may not really say it. I mean, they may be carrying it within themselves, and they may realize that people are not noticing it. But there is a form of communication, which is a silence communication, which is the facial communication, or body communication, that the other person easily recognizes. So, meditation basically communicates to the other person, listen, you have equal right, I have equal right. Whatever you're doing, God bless you, I wish you the best. May you thrive in whatever you're doing. Similarly, I have my own space. We are all moving towards our own different goals. We all have our own issues. We all have our own problems. So we all need to balance our lives. There are many benefits of meditation. There are health benefits, which I just told you about. You start to develop discipline. Now, one of the other benefits of meditation is you start to see yourself. You see, what happens is, when you have this continuous bombardment of thoughts, you have very little time to understand and to see yourself, to learn who you are as an individual, to learn who you are as a person. And we need to see what's wrong with us. We need to see what's right with us too. I mean, we all have our own faults. We all have our good points and our bad points. With the work and the stress load and the kind of information and the world today is completely different than what it was many years ago, than how our forefathers lived. I mean, we are bombarded with information. We try to multifaceted. We try to do too many things at one time. So not realizing when you get all that bombardment, when you get several thoughts at a time, and you're trying to just kind of juggle between those thoughts and trying to find answers between the thoughts, confusing yourself. So this is where meditation comes and plays a part. This is where meditation, just kind of tells you, hey, listen, calm down. The world is not going anywhere. Things are not going anywhere. When the time comes, you will be able to solve the problems that you have. Meditation brings you to live in the present. As we all know, you can only realize happiness and contentment by living in the present. We are either living in our past or we are living in our future. Meditation brings you to live in the present. I remember I used to be always worried about the next thing. Will I be able to reach this goal? Will I be able to make the dates? I have to deliver so many things. As businessmen, we all in our own profession, as doctors, engineers, we all have our own goals. We all have our own life. We all have too many things that we try to achieve, and we are always taking away our present happy moments by worrying about the future or thinking about the past. These are the only two things. You see, if you notice, our mind is always either living in the past or thinking about the future. And we never really get to enjoy what the present is. We are so lucky, we are so fortunate to be living in this present world. We are the luckiest being in this entire universe. We need to not let life just pass us by. We need to understand, whenever the time comes, my brain and my intelligence has given me enough that I'll be able to deal with the problems when the problem arises. I'm sure my mind can deal with the problem when it arrives. Most of the things that you think are going to happen, 99% of what you fear does not even come to pass. Fear is one of our biggest enemies. The more you bombard yourself with thoughts, the more you get into this material wealth and material world, the more your life will be unhappy, the more you'll develop fear. So meditation gives you that calmness. Meditation tells you, hey, listen, things are not going away, things are not going to run away. And it also lets you forget the past. It also tells you, listen, what's bygones are bygone. There's not much you can do to change what has already happened. There's not much you can do. Listen, we all make mistakes in life, right? So fine, if I've made a mistake, I've made a mistake, but at least let's move on. I mean, mistakes is what is part of life. Let's not punish ourselves because we may have done something in the past. We did what we thought was right at that time. Not necessarily does it all work out at that time. Our thoughts are what create you, our thoughts are what that destroy you. Your worst enemy cannot harm you as much as your own unguarded thoughts. Meditation, I would say, is probably one of the most important things that you can do during your day. Take your time out. I know most of us have a busy schedules, but please take the time for meditating, and you will realize that'll be the best time well spent throughout your day. There's 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes in the evening. And let's start that from today. Let's meditate from today. Thank you all for spending the time with us. I hope you liked our today's session about meditation. I hope it's going to help you. I look forward to seeing you in another session. Thank you.